You are sitting in dead stop-and-go traffic on a blazing 95-degree July afternoon, and suddenly, the icy blast from your air conditioning vents turns into a damp, lukewarm breeze. Your shirt is sticking to the seat, the 5-year-old in the back is having an absolute meltdown about the heat, and your engine temperature gauge is creeping uncomfortably close to the red zone. Most drivers will instantly panic, assuming the compressor just grenaded itself and they are about to drop $2,000 at the dealership. But before you start transferring money out of your U.S. stock portfolio to cover a massive repair bill, take a breath. The truth is, modern automotive AC systems rarely fail catastrophically out of nowhere. Instead, they suffer from a slow, agonizing death by 1,000 cuts. Small, overlooked maintenance items choke the system, drastically reduce your MPG, and put massive strain on your alternator. Today, we are grabbing our tools and completely tearing down the misconceptions about your car's climate control, fixing the real issues right in your own driveway. Let us start right at the front of the vehicle. If you drive a newer model car, truck, or SUV, manufacturers have obsessed over fuel economy and aerodynamics. To squeeze out an extra MPG or two, they installed active grille shutters. These are horizontal plastic louvers sitting right behind your front grille, directly in front of the AC condenser and radiator. When you are cruising down the interstate at 75 miles per hour, these shutters close up tight, pushing the air over the hood like a sleek jet. But the second you slow down, or the moment you hit that AC button, the computer commands those little plastic doors to swing wide open. Your AC condenser absolutely requires a massive, continuous wall of fresh air to pull the heat out of the refrigerant. The problem is, these plastic shutters take a brutal beating. They get hammered by road salt, flying gravel, massive bugs, and winter ice. Eventually, the tiny electric actuator motors burn out, or the plastic hinges snap, jamming the shutters in the fully closed position. When that happens, your condenser suffocates. You pull up to a red light, the airflow completely stops, system pressures skyrocket, and the compressor shuts itself off in less than 60 seconds to prevent an explosion. Your vents blow hot, and your cooling fans scream at maximum speed trying to save the engine. Grab a flashlight and look through your grille with the engine off. You should see those louvers. Start the car, turn the AC to max, and within 30 seconds, they should rotate open. If they are dead, you can temporarily zip tie them open to get your cold air back. But while you are looking at the condenser, you need to grab a garden hose. Over years of driving, the tiny aluminum fins on the condenser get packed solid with dirt, road grime, and cottonwood seed. It forms a thick blanket that prevents heat transfer. Simply spraying it down with a gentle coil cleaner and rinsing it out from the engine bay forward can drop your vent temperatures by a massive amount instantly. Before we dive under the hood to inspect the very heartbeat of your cooling and accessory system, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join the crew, because we are all about keeping your daily driver running ice cold without breaking the bank. Now pop the hood and look at the front of the engine block. You will see the serpentine belt, a thick rubber band that snakes its way around the pulleys. This single belt is responsible for driving the water pump, the alternator, the power steering pump, and most importantly for our comfort, the AC compressor clutch. Think of it like the main tension yarn in a complex knitting project. If that one central thread gets loose or frays, the whole sweater falls apart. A worn, stretched, or oil-soaked serpentine belt will slip on the compressor pulley. You might hear a high-pitched squeal when you accelerate, but sometimes it is completely silent. That slipping means the compressor is not spinning at full speed, drastically reducing the system's ability to compress the refrigerant gas into a high-pressure liquid. You need to visually inspect the rib side of the belt. If you see deep cracks, missing chunks of rubber, or if the smooth side looks like a highly polished mirror, it is slipping. Pushing down on the longest stretch of the belt should only give you about half an inch of deflection. If it feels sloppy, or if the automatic tensioner is bouncing aggressively while the engine is idling, you are losing serious cooling performance. Swapping a serpentine belt is usually a 15-minute job with a single 3 8-inch drive breaker bar, and it is a critical piece of preventive maintenance that keeps you from getting stranded on a road trip with your friends. Let us talk about the invisible enemy. The number one reason your AC system slowly loses its punch over the years is not a blown hose or a cracked compressor housing. It is microscopic leaks. Your AC loop is full of rubber O-rings, aluminum lines, and crimped connections. Over thousands of miles of engine vibrations and extreme temperature swings from freezing winters to scorching summers, these joints develop microscopic gaps. Traditional manifold gauges at a repair shop will not even register a pressure drop, but over 12 months, you lose just enough refrigerant to make the air feel weak. If your system is low on Freon, the compressor has to run twice as long to do half the work, destroying your fuel economy and pulling engine horsepower down. I am going to tell you exactly how to permanently seal these annoying micro leaks without replacing a single hard part. But first, take a second to hit subscribe so you never miss these advanced garage hacks. To fix this, you do not need to tear the dashboard apart. You can inject a specialized AC system sealant and conditioner directly into the low-pressure service port. You hook the can up while the engine and AC are running. As the refrigerant carries this liquid throughout the system, the sealant particles seek out the microscopic leaks. When they hit the outside air, they react and form a permanent, flexible seal that is often stronger than the original rubber. It is like patching a tiny hole in a massive digital file transfer. You just need the right packet of data to fill the gap seamlessly. Doing this on a 70 to 5-degree Fahrenheit day gets the chemical circulating perfectly. It can restore an older system's efficiency by 30 to 40%, giving an aging car another 5 years of ice-cold reliability for just about $40. But let us say your pressures are perfect. Your compressor is humming, but the air coming out of the vents smells like a wet dog, or it barely blows hard enough to rustle a piece of paper. This brings us to the cowl and the cabin air filter. The cowl is that plastic vented panel right below your windshield wipers. This is where your climate control system pulls in fresh outside air. If you park under trees, that cowl gets completely packed with dead leaves, pine needles, and dirt. Rainwater mixes with this debris, creating a soggy, rotting compost pile deep inside the air intake ducts. This dark, damp environment is the perfect breeding ground for mold and bacteria. That rotting smell gets blasted directly into your face. To fix it, you need to open the hood and manually clean out the cowl drain. Then, you need to look behind your glove box and pull out the cabin air filter. I guarantee you, if you have not checked it in a year, it is completely black and choked with dust, pollen, and bugs. A clogged cabin filter is like trying to breathe through a thick wool blanket. It puts massive electrical strain on the blower motor, often causing the blower motor resistor to melt down entirely. Throw that nasty filter in the trash. Before putting the new one in, turn the AC fan on low, roll the windows down, and spray a dedicated automotive AC evaporator foaming cleaner directly into the intake cowl outside. The fan will suck the antibacterial foam through the ductwork, destroying the mold on the evaporator core. Let it drain out the bottom of the car, pop a fresh carbon-activated cabin filter in, and your interior will smell like a brand new luxury vehicle, and the air velocity will easily double. Now that you have massive airflow and cold temperatures, you need to know how to use the buttons on your dash correctly, because most people do not. The recirculation button, the one with the little U-turn arrow inside the outline of a car, is an absolute game changer for fuel economy and cabin comfort. When you first get into a hot car, you want the system pulling in fresh air to push the stagnant oven air out the back pressure vents. But once the cabin is reasonably cool, you must hit that recirculation button. If you leave it pulling fresh air, your compressor is constantly fighting a losing battle. It has to take 5-degree, incredibly humid air from the highway, pull all the moisture out of it, and drop it down to 40 degrees in a split second. That takes immense mechanical energy, dragging down your post of torque. By turning on recirculation, you are taking the 7-0-degree air already inside the cabin and running it back through the cold evaporator. It easily drops it down to 40 degrees with barely any effort. The air stays dry, your windows will not fog up on humid days, and the compressor cycles off much more frequently, which instantly bumps up your MPG on long highway drives. Finally, we have to talk about managing the heat load before you even turn the key. Getting into a car that has been baking in a massive asphalt parking lot is brutal. The steering wheel burns your hands, the leather seats feel like frying pans, and the dashboard is radiating heat like an open oven. That dashboard is soaking up thermal energy all day, and even when you turn the AC on full blast, the plastic keeps radiating heat into the cabin for another 20 minutes. High-quality ceramic window tint and a thick, reflective windshield sunshade are not just for privacy or looks, they are vital thermal barriers. A good sunshade can drop the interior temperature by a massive 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Ceramic tint blocks 99% of UV rays and rejects a huge amount of infrared heat. By keeping the thermal mass of the interior cool, your AC system does not have to work nearly as hard. The compressor spends less time engaged, putting less parasitic drag on the engine and preserving your fuel. It is the easiest, most passive way to extend the life of your entire climate control system. So there it is, the truth about why your car is struggling to keep you cool and burning through fuel in the process. It is rarely the expensive, catastrophic failure everyone fears, but rather a combination of neglected maintenance, dirty filters, and microscopic leaks that suffocate the system over time. Get out there, check those active shutters, swap that cabin filter, and inspect your belts. I want to hear from you down in the comments. Tell me what kind of AC issues you are dealing with, what your current MPG is looking like, or if you have any weird smells coming from your vents. Drop your symptoms or trouble codes below and let us diagnose it together. And if this deep dive helped you understand your ride better and saved you a trip to the mechanic, smash that subscribe button, give the video a like, and keep those wrenches turning. See you in the garage next time.